November 13th, and I'm not sure if the Yome will be up in time before the baby is born. I was hoping to have the baby in there, but I have like 7 more weeks roughly. It's still possible and doable, but there's still like the deliberation on deck flooring, and if we're getting wood from a local sawmill, or if Greg wants to grab some things from the forest. So at first the conversation was, yes, he wants to use all of the materials from the land, because like that's really what is in his heart to do. And I'm pushing like, but we need to get this done. So if I want to go the route of just get it done, then we go the route of getting the milled lumber and the pressure treated wood and blah 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 blah. But if we go the route of Greg's preferred style, which is get everything from the land and do it that way, then it might take a little bit longer, but maybe not. I don't know. We're just checking to see now what lengths and sizes and all that stuff for the deck and platform need to be, so we can figure out what is the best form of action. There's a lot of anxiety building up, like thinking there's just nothing being done in the last few weeks, but that's not true. We had to get tools. We had to wait for tools. Greg wanted to be able to pull some trees and logs and lumber out of the forest, so we got a wench, a capstan wench, to be able to drag the trees out and move some rocks. And then we've been just gathering resources and materials and bringing them to the spot. We've got some rocks beautiful stones here that we have been collecting to work with, and wood pieces. So we brought his tent down. He's got his tools in there, and and some more resources in there, a wood stove and stove piping and chimney stuff and flooring things. We had to get a bunch of stuff for flooring, and then we kind of flagged out the spot there with the pink and orange flags. So we first had to pick the actual location on the land, which we did, and then we had to pick the site, and the site is going to be right here. So not huge. It's going to be comfy cozy when it's done, and this is the view. So it's beautiful. It's funny because in one of my last videos, I was like, or I think it was the first video, where I was like, oh, the hardest thing so far has been to pick out the location of where the Yome is going to go on the land and blah, blah, blah. That is not the hardest part of this project. That was just the very first thing we had to do. It's not hard at all compared to like considering what kind of floor to put in, and then the design, because there's like everything to consider, and water, and how you're getting hot water, and Greg really wants radiant floor heating. He's been working on the computer to get the design, and then we got all the materials needed for that, and then he had this idea to put a rocket mass stove in there, and then we could cook on that and heat the floor and heat the water. But then when we checked in with this master builder man, he said that it wouldn't be smart to try to have a rocket stove heater do all three. So pick at least one or two of the main functions we want it to have and go with that. But just like timing. If we do that, I mean, maybe it could work if we had like a workshop or a work party and said, hey, you know, everybody come and help us build this, and it'll be done in a weekend and just done. But if that's the case, that has to be done before the deck is done, because a wood deck wouldn't support the rocket mass stove because it'd be too heavy. So we're still like deciding whether we're doing this or not, or just gonna like just go and pick up wood, make a deck, put the Yome on. The Yome itself comes the first week, I think, of December, so we'll be picking it up then, so we have a few more weeks to at least get the deck built. I don't know. We'll see how it goes.